York. Now with Les Gotti, it's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, George Carlin, singer Al Green, and actress Christine Lottie. Plus, Paul Schaefer and the world's most dangerous man. And now, a man who can smell a pony a mile away, David Letterman.
Thank you very much for dialing us up on your home television set. Welcome to the show. It was kind of interesting yesterday. This happens every year. Charles Manson is eligible for parole, and he goes in front of the parole board, and he makes his presentation, and then they decide whether or not they feel that Charles Manson, convicted mass murderer, is suitable to be paroled. And as you would guess, they decided he was not suitably rehabilitated for parole, and he took it very hard. For some reason, yesterday's announcement came as a real bombshell to this guy, and he was very worked up, and when they made the announcement, he looked at the panel and he said, very bitterly, he says, "It's because I'm a psychopathic homicidal maniac, isn't it?" Couple of stuntmen who worked on Wayne's World, ladies and gentlemen. They're here today. Nice to have them. Yeah, it is always. I don't know if you've been following the news in Russia, but over the weekend, economy experts announced that in Russia, in Moscow specifically, gasoline prices, if you take your car into a gasoline station there in Moscow, gasoline prices have been increased 400%. The increase of 400%, but the spokesman was quick to explain, with every fill-up, you get an NFL glass. So, well, that's something going on there. Yeah, I don't know. This week, of course, is Secretary's Week, and today, I believe, if I have my dates right, today is Earth Day. So we have two major events going on simultaneously, and many General Electric executives here in the building are celebrating both events today by treating their secretaries like dirt. So I... A woman in the audience doing this, and her friend grabbed her and said to her, "Look, you're on camera behaving like a seal." And they both enjoyed a good laugh. On the program tonight, ladies and gentlemen, George Carlin will be joining us. That's right. A very talented and lovely actress. I believe I say that every time I introduce an actress. But tonight, it happens to be true. Christine Lottie is here, and Al Green. Now, here's our friend Paul Schaefer, who's over here. I don't know.
Hello, David. Nice to see you,
Nice
sir.
to see you. How you doing?
Thank you very much. David, you're doing a new walk this evening.
I'm trying out a little something here.
What is this?
It's just a little something.
It's a sprightly thing. It's more of an attitude than a walk, really.
It's a little something for spring, and I just thought
lovely. It's a spring in your step, a bounce in your step.
Thank you.
Hey, he's here again. He's here not because he has to be here.
That's right.
He's got his own career.
Exactly.
He makes his own records.
That's
he scores movies. but he's here because he loves you.
Oh,
David Sandborn on the alto saxophone. He does not have to be here. He doesn't have to be here. He doesn't have to be here.
Something wonderful is happening tonight on the program, and it's never happened before, and I just thought I'd take a second here to call attention to it. A fine young man from our studio audience, moments before the show began tonight, asked me if he could have my tie. There he is. Right there. I'm sorry, son, the deal didn't go through. So I feel like Babe Ruth. I have vowed to this young man, when the program is over, I'm going to give him my tie.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And I have a feeling that it's going to go just great with that outfit. Baseball, it's baseball season. Oh, before we do this, since it is Earth Day, let's open the sunroof and see what the weather is. Earlier today, for the last 5 or 6 days here in New York City, it's been lousy, lousy weather, and they said it was supposed to be sunny and lovely today. So Hal, yes, sir. That's our director and racing legend, Hal Gurney. Hal, do me a favor, open up that sunroof there, and let's see if the weather here in New York City has improved from earlier, shall we?
Open up, fellas.
All right, open that sunroof up, because it was dreary and overcast and gray and kind of damp and cloudy. And open it right up. Oh, look, Paul. Beautiful, beautiful azure sky, big, white, wispy, puffy clouds. Yeah, so we turned out to be a pretty nice Earth Day here in New York. It's gotten pretty... What the hell was that? Somebody is dropping aluminum cans on me.
Sorry, Dave. I thought this was a recycling bin.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Peabody Award-winning comedy. All right, since we're right here in the beginning of the baseball season, what's your favorite baseball team, Paul?
The Blue Jays.
Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah. Some say the best team in baseball today.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I didn't know you cared. Who do you like?
Oh, I like, of course, Cincinnati Reds. I grew up with the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, I was clubhouse boy till I was 26.
I didn't know about you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so anyway, since it is the beginning of the baseball season, we thought, well, heck, we're just going to show you now a little something we've put together, the history of baseball. Paul, is there any stirring baseball music for this?
'Cause it's on. 2, 3 plages et vous êtes outrés. A little French, a little French. Little fake French. Little bad French. You've cut off your comma.
No, oh, yeah, I know. I'm developing a gap here. We're going to have to get some tape or a staple gun, and we'll close it up. It's the history of baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. Way back in 1871, the first fat guy breaks a ballpark seat. That happened in 1871.
History was made.
That's right. 1916. Yep, Babe Ruth's first hooker. There she is. By the way, John Goodman is the Babe.
Yes.
1928, Yankee backup catcher Benny Bengo promises kid in hospital that if he gets in the game, he'll take a fastball in the sternum for the kid. Let a fastball bounce right off his sternum. 1938, Lou Gehrig utters the immortal words, "Today I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth." Later, Gehrig changes his mind when he hears about Rick Ocasek.
He's not really the luckiest.
Yeah. He's married to leggy supermodel Pauline Poroskova.
That's
leggy supermodel. Are they married?
That's lucky.
Yeah, they are married. Yes, sir. 1939, continuing now with the history of baseball. Some guy rebroadcast part of a game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. World War II begins. I knew something like that would happen. 1941, Joe DiMaggio hit safely in 56 consecutive games. Streak ends when he is troubled by recurring nightmare about a machine that makes fresh brewed coffee in his kitchen. You know, the show is going so well, I don't know that I'll be able to part with this tie. it may become my good luck tie.
Okay, well,
in 1966, rookie Nolan Ryan sells his soul to the devil. I didn't realize that. You go up into Cooperstown and you learn that kind of stuff, or as baseball players pronounce it, Cooperstown. 1969, San Diego scout spots freakishly large chicken, decides it would be a perfect mascot for the San Diego Padres. Yeah, you're not getting this tie, pal. This is my parachute right here.
yeah. Saving it.
1972, Tommy Lasorda eats the last sensible dinner he will have until 1989. (1973) designated hitter rule adopted by American League. That's right. 1974, no tongue rule adopted by Morgana the Kissing Bandit. 1977, scientists mix polypropylene with heated glucose polymers, hoping to make an industrial cleaner. Instead, they invent ballpark nacho cheese. (1979), while playing for Milwaukee, Sixto Lezcano hits 28 home runs, drives in 101 runs, setting all-time record for guys named Sixto. I'm having an out-of-body experience. I'm somewhere else now, making that childish noise. 1979, Pirates, the Pittsburgh Pirates, win the World Series and adopt the theme song, We Are Family. 1987. 1987, We Are Family adopted as theme song for Steve Garvey. 1989, Mets third baseman Howard Johnson suspected of corking his bat. 1989, Red Sox third baseman Wade Boggs suspected of corking his pants. 1991, Mets pitcher David Cohen ejected from game for getting too warmed up in the bullpen. There you go. That's our history of baseball. Toss those boys in the Hudson. All right, we're going to do a commercial. When we come back, George Carlin will be here. Come on back, folks. Thanks for being here. Paul Schaefer, of course, the band, Sid McGinnis, Will Lee, Anton Zip, and David Sanborn sitting. Anton Fig, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people have been calling in wanting to know, they just tuned into the show a little bit late, wanting to know, will we ever repeat the history of baseball piece we did a couple of minutes ago? I don't know, Bob, can we repeat that history of baseball piece? It'll be in the newsletter, so if you subscribe to our newsletter or you want to phone the Late Night with David Letterman hotline immediately following the broadcast, the information will be there. And by the way, stay tuned for information on how you can purchase coffee mugs and T-shirts. Let's do the top 10 list and then get on with the big program. Here's a dumb guy sitting at home watching the program with his wife. He's had a little too much over-the-counter cough medicine.
Okay.
Hey, Helen, I think them dots is moving.
The category tonight, by the way, the home office is now in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. If you have any complaints about the show, address them to the home office there in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. The category tonight, top 10 ways the airlines are attracting passengers. You know, I don't know whether it's the recession, I don't know whether it's just generally business troubles around the world these days, but the airlines are having a lot of trouble economically. A lot of them have gone out of business.
Yeah.
Eastern is gone. Yeah, one of the premier pioneer airlines, Eastern Airlines, adios, say goodbye, get a cab, dust, history, vapor. Pan Am, I believe Pan Am is gone.
Gone already?
Yeah.
No.
Haven't they gone? They're bankruptcy and...
Bankrupt.
Yeah.
Out of here.
TWA hanging on to a Chapter 11. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Bankrupt.
So they're almost out. So that only leaves American and some others.
And a few others. A lot of them are lowering prices drastically to attract customers.
That's exactly my point.
One of the ways
exactly
they're
the
doing
point I was trying to make. Thank you. Thank you, and God bless you, Paul.
Thank you.
That's the category of tonight's top 10 list. Top 10 other ways the airlines now are attracting passengers. Americans slashed their prices across the board.
Yeah.
You can now, a family of 6 can fly round trip from New York City to Los Angeles for $8.
Man.
That's true. And that's business class, ladies and gentlemen. Top 10 other ways the... What?
Just a little visual dumb guy there. You don't give us the full dumb guy.
Yeah, that's right.
A little hint of him.
I'm so dumb, I couldn't think of anything, so I just thought, well, I'll give him just a hint of the dumb guy.
A visual hint of the dumb guy.
But, you know... I know! But, you know, a dumb guy can't have something to say every minute of his life.
No, it's true. He's dumb.
Yeah, that's the problem. He's just a guy.
Sometimes he just looks and wonders.
Are we really very late? Okay, we'll be all right. The category now, he looks and wonders. Yes, it's the always questioning dumb guy.
He's questions life.
Yeah. Top 10 other ways the airlines are attracting passengers. Here we go. Number 10. New cockpit fare gives you the chance to test your skills at the controls. Number 9. Bring a gallon of jet fuel, get a free upgrade. Number 8. Turbo roasted peanuts. Number 7. All flight crews now include at least one Star Trek cast member. Number 6. Strip searches on demand. Number 5. Seat backs and tray tables, leave them any way you want. Number 4. Bat day. Number 3. For $1, you can cling to the landing gear. Number 2. One window left open so you can drop stuff. And the number 1 way airlines are attracting passengers, topless baggage handlers. There you go. All right. Let's bring out our first guest, a very funny man. And the important thing, if you're going into the world of comedy, the real test is how long can you be funny? And he's been funny for a long, long time. He's been performing stand-up for the last 30 years. He has a brand new special, George Carlin Live at the Paramount. Live at the Paramount. That takes place Saturday night, a live event right here in the city. You can see it on HBO. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome George Carlin. George. Hi, George. What happened?
I had an ovary removed.
Oh, no, you didn't.
No?
No, you didn't.
Old hide-and-seek injury? All right.
Good.
I'm really okay.
Good to see you. This is very exciting for me, and I guess even more exciting for you for a couple of reasons. But I know you always enjoy coming back to New York City.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hometown. Doing this show from my hometown. That's great.
Yep.
And I love the restaurants. You know, it's got the best restaurants.
30,000 different restaurants in New York City.
Well, only a few worth mentioning on the David Letterman show.
All right. Let's hear them.
Vinny's House of Toast.
Oh.
I go back all the time. Vinny and his lovely wife, Dawn, God bless her. They've come up with over 300 ways to serve toast.
Uh-huh.
And my favorite is, well, I like the roast toast. It's nice. It sounds... But give me a toast sandwich.
Yeah.
You know?
How do they handle that? What do they do with that?
I like the toast sandwich on toast.
Uh-huh.
Personally.
So you get it toasted.
Yeah, I get it. But you can get the toast sandwich on plain bread. It's just as good.
Yeah.
Just as good.
Get it on a bun, maybe?
Toast on a bun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the toast sticks out a little from the bun. the contours being different. So I'm over there. That's usually in the afternoon, because that's light fare.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Nighttime, trying to impress somebody.
Yeah.
Special place in Soho, south of Houston, down in Soho.
Hey, you know this town.
Well, I learned some of this stuff when I was out in California. Nice place called Bombs Away. Have you ever been in there?
No, Bombs Away. Is it a new place?
Very interesting. Bombs Away. The patrons sit on the ground floor. Kitchen is on the balcony. And when the chef, when they've finished cooking your food, they toss it off. Bombs away!
Oh, is that right?
You know? And you got to catch it on your plate. Real easy with like a T-bone steak, soup, a mess.
Oh, no, yeah.
Peas, no fun peas.
No, peas are no
nice
good.
Thing, if it lands on the floor, on the house. The food is free if you don't catch it in your plate.
Wow. You know, I hadn't heard of that place.
Yeah, I love the city.
Yeah.
And there's one place that's closed now, unfortunately. It was a restaurant for the blind, and they had to close because of the incredible cleaning costs each night, you know. But I haven't been there a long time, and it's on its own.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about, now, of course, you do the stand-up comedy, and you've been doing it. And like I said, I think it's a real tribute to your ability and your appeal that you could have a great career for this long, certainly.
Sure.
But you do other things. You were in the movie The Prince of Tides.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I was in Prince of Tides. I do Shining Time Station, a children's show.
Now, tell me about that. Because
Thank you. Thank you.
that, by the way, is the dictionary definition of a smattering of applause.
Yes, it is.
You won't get a better example than that.
That's the one they have right on that same page.
Yeah. Tell me about the PBS show.
Well, that's a children's show called Shining Time Station. I play a little fellow called Mr. Conductor. More than this matter. That was a sprinkling. That was a little better even. But you know what? I'm in town for another reason, and that has to do with my career. Like the Madonna deal, you heard about Madonna.
Oh, $60 million blockbuster deal.
Mine is not quite that much money involved, more $35,000, but we're pulling together all of my many show business interests under one roof.
Oh, great, yeah.
And we're going to send it out that way. First of all, I represent people now. We're representing other artists.
So you're in the management business?
Sort of, yes. Yeah. First, I got the first guy ever wrote a novel in chapstick. Okay? You heard sometimes they say this is a good summer book, this is a good winter book.
The original manuscript actually executed in chapstick. Wow.
Yeah. And something Paul and the guys would be interested in, we have a guy who plays classical music on the bugle. It takes a hell of a lip, but he's good.
Put him together with a chapstick guy,
and
maybe.
Maybe as a duo,
prolong their careers.
Yes. See? That's why you're here.
I'm an idea guy.
That's why you're here. A band. I'm representing a band from England, heavy metal band that's called So Long, Mate. And during each performance, one of the members of the band is killed by the rest of the band.
Beaten to death or something?
Yeah, beaten to death. And the nice thing is the sound of the band is constantly changing. Open auditions all year round.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad things are going so well
I know,
for you.
I'm very excited about it. Yeah. Aren't we supposed to be excited about these
we're
things?
in show business, of course.
Yeah. So
It's
excited.
a challenge. It's a stretch. It's a dream come
good
true.
people to work with.
Yeah.
Good people to work with.
We have to do one little commercial here, and then George will be right back. Every night the band sounds great. The best part of the show, night in and night out, is the band. You sound great.
Thank you.
And then when David Sanborn comes in, you sound like a great band with a saxophone. Is that a compliment?
I couldn't have put it any better.
What I'm trying to say, it sounded terrific.
Thanks.
Yeah. George Carlin is here, and Al Green. Man, now that's going to be good,
That's
too.
going to be a number.
And Christine Lottie. George, what else should we talk about? Let's talk a little bit about things that you've been noticing for your stand-up act, things you notice just in life, things about the news, science, politics, language.
Language. Well, you know, it's fun to look closer at things we say and think nothing of. Fine and dandy. You guys say this to you?
Fine and dandy.
Yeah, you say to a guy, how are you? He's fine and dandy.
Exactly.
Not me.
Yeah,
I never say it, I'm fine and dandy. You know why?
No.
I'm never both of those things at the same time. Sometimes I'm fine, not dandy.
I see.
Close to dandy, approaching dandy, in the vicinity of dandy, not dandy.
Yeah.
Occasionally, rarely, I'm dandy. Really dandy. Not fine.
Not fine, no.
One time, 1965, August, for about an hour, I was both fine and dandy.
Wow.
At the same time. Nobody asked me how I was.
Yeah, well.
I got a lot of these.
What else?
Down the tubes.
Down the tubes.
People say that.
Fairly modern term,
The country is going down the tubes.
Yeah.
What tubes? Have you seen any tubes?
No.
Where are the tubes? Where do they go?
I don't know.
And how come there's more than one tube? Wouldn't one tube be fine for one country? Does every state have to have its own tube now? Kentucky has a tube, North Carolina has a tube. And then I wonder about, you say down the tubes, I think one tube would be fine, you know, and now I'm forgetting the ending of this. I remember the ending.
So you yourself
I
may
know
have
what.
gone down the tubes.
I did.
Yeah.
If you had only one tube, it would have to be so big, people would have noticed this tube by now. Some guy would have said, Joey, look at the big tube over there.
Yeah.
You never hear that.
No.
You know why? No tubes.
No tubes, no. Yeah.
Down the pike.
Down the pike. Now, that's an old one, I think.
Old one.
Yeah.
Meanest guy ever came down the pike. What about guys who came up the pike? Not everybody lives north of the pike, you know. Some guys have to come up the pike, and they're really mean.
Right.
Because they never get mentioned.
Yeah.
How about guys who don't use the pike? Guy comes on Amtrak. You know, he's the meanest guy ever arrived on Amtrak. Doesn't sound right.
No.
Doesn't sound right. Takes the cake. Where does he take it? Where do you take a cake? To the museum?
Down the tube?
Down the tube.
Down the tube.
That's why he's here.
Or up the pipe or down the pipe.
That's right. You know where I would take a cake? I would take a cake to the bakery and see the other cakes. Wouldn't that be nice? How come they don't take the pie?
Yeah.
Pie is easier to carry than a cake.
Yeah.
Easy as pie.
Easy as pie.
Cake is easy to carry, too.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. Huh? That's the way I make my living.
You know, you get a little nervous. A person can get a little nervous observing that, and you think to yourself, maybe George isn't taking the medication because it can go on and on and on.
He's doubled up.
Yeah. Well, no, not anymore. No. Now, the big show is Saturday night. Now, let's explain this. It will be live.
It'll go out live to HBO, on HBO satellite,
Yep.
or whatever you call that stuff they do now. Like that grasp of technology.
But it's at the Paramount Theater. It's
Paramount
like
Theater
5,000, 6,000
Madison
seats.
Square Garden, about 5,500 seats,
Now,
something like
do
that.
people pay to go in there and see the show?
Yeah, they'll see that, and they'll also see, then I do an extra half hour, you know, and I want to cheat them, and I got an opening act, I want to cheat them, so they see a real show, but for an hour it's broadcast, and then we tape it, of course, and then cut it up and fix it up so that the replays are better than the live one.
This is like a big deal, though. This is a lot of pressure doing a live broadcast.
Yeah, a bit, but once you get started, I think you forget it. We did one 2 years ago live. It was all right.
A lot of fun.
I threw up once, and it was okay.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
And
Good to hear
good
you.
luck with the big show.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Take care.
George Carlin, kid. We'll be right back.